Okay, so 1, 2, 3, mic check, mic check. Hi guys, what I would like to do today is create an ATM algorithm using a character system. The using of a character system will be very limited just to receive methods, but what's more important that we will focus on the way how we want to test it. Okay, so what we have here, ATM tests as usual. I'm using solution which is already on GitHub. If you wish to follow this how it was done, then we can use I will in the comments you'll get okay, so this is our very first test. Let me think what the actor should do. Okay, so if we think about ATM will have to dispense some money, so let's do some assumptions for us. ATM rules. Okay, so first gonna have no tests of 200, 150, sorry, 50 and 20. Okay, then can dispense amount, it's from 40 to, let's say, 1,000. If we lack of nodes but still have other nodes, we shall dispense. Okay, so what that means? That means if I will have only 50s and the user, the ATM user would like to get 200, so that means I'm still able to give him 200 using 450s without 100 and 200 nodes. Okay, so if you lack of nodes, then what we also need to know about the dispenser, let's make this up. Okay, so oh yeah, the ATM is fed with nodes from time to time to time. Okay, so when let's see it now, test and confirm with sum of cache shall be set. Okay, so what we have, so we need to create our system on the test, and the magic that you see here is taken from actor test base. Let's see what we have here. We are creating a test probe. When we are disposing, we are just removing the test probe pill is given to kill the actor. Right, so there's two things: we're creating test probe, and then after test is executed, test probe is disposed. Right, so how do we create a test actor? We just say props and we need to create so let's use this as our input, and then we will fix all the things that we have, right? So our actor just need that, and in our case it's the ATM actor. Okay, so we are created that. So now we want to tell to our sort new, and then we have ATM actor dot feed notice. Okay, and then we have we don't have that class. Created that, so let's create this creator notice, and we'll have, let's say, int integer notes 200, integer note 100, integer note 50, and finally integer note 20. Right, so let's do this just 5 5 5 5 5. Then at this particular case we should expect message ATM actor cash balance. Okay, and we will have here cash. Okay, and we need to think what we will have in this, so that m dot balance so insert equal same true expected, and then we will have our 5 by 200. So let's call this expected balance equals 5 times 200 plus 5 times 100 plus 5 times 50 50 plus 5 times 20. Okay, and then we have expected balance. So when we run the test, it should not pass because our actor have nothing, so we get a red flag and we have ability to fix it. Okay, so 1 2 3, the test is failing as expected because our actor has nothing here. So let's just receive feed notes and handle that. Right, so our internal state notice to 100 equals feed notes to 100. Then notice 100 equals, sorry for that, equals left and 100. And notice 50. Left 50. And finally, and 20 equals after 20, after 20. Okay, so let's figure it's 1, 2, 3, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 20, 100, 50. Oop. Okay, so at this point the guy is expecting that we will give him a balance of what we have, so we say send-hotel your cash balance, and here we need to say 200 by multiplied by 20 plus 100 multiplied by underscore 100. Maybe we'll do this a different way. Let's do a cash balance equals plus and 100. Just reuse the word bin and 100 multiplied by 100 plus and 50 multiplied by 50 plus and underscore and 20 multiplied by 20. In this case, we can scrap this and say cash balance. So we need to create this field, and also we need to close the bracket. Okay, so let's run our test. Okay, and 20, 50, 10, 10. We have an issue. 50, 100, 100. So check it. Where is the problem? 5, 5. Okay. Now we are at home. Okay, so our test is going on. What we can do now, I will just no, we'll create another test, validating that sticker sort. So fact public right. Okay. So in our case, we just execute this as the initial state for the actor. Then we say system level test ATM actor dot feed notes, and we say 0. 0,0,0. Okay, so then we should expect the message. And this is ATM actor cash balance and to our okay, so now we have so our expected balance at this particular value equals plus 20. So here let's do the searcher. So password m dot balance and then we have expected balance. Okay, so now we'll have a minute. Interesting. That's really interesting. So our balance, why our balance is set to 0 after execution. That's really interesting. Yeah, that's the root. Okay, I'm giving a gap. Let's do this crazy thing. So we're at 620s. Okay.
Żyjesz?
Poczekaj. Tak, żyję i nagrywam.
Bo żebyś miał ucho na AdGame.
Dobra. Very interesting. Now it will be easier when we and actual will be this and so now plus equals 20. So now when we have everything in order, expected, and we get actual. So what's wrong in our actual? The reason is that we are setting the values instead of updating them. So every time we get our updates, we set a brand new state. So in this case, we shift for the green south. Let's say with those two tests, we have covered our balance handling. We could go for every single value if we go crazy. So let's try to dispose something. Public, right. Come on. So when asked for dispose less than 40, error message sent. Okay, so that's something. So again, we can create our ATM. We're using the code. This is our vector. So there we go. Set tell get and we see torch. Okay. Okay. Then let's expect message ATM account charge dispenser notice. Okay, maybe the name is not so good. But and the dispense notes will be very similar as this guy, right? So we will just do after fitness. Okay. And then do this. What I did right now, almost everything. Okay, alright, that's done already. Too much screens. Okay, that's fine. So we have that. So we at this point we are not expecting that. We should have cannot. Yogi dokie. Okay, so we'll be expecting, and the message should contain some password. Same. Expected will be too low. Dot reset. Okay. So run the test. failed. So we go to our actor and we say okay, receive. Message here in the handler. So what do we need to validate? If and dot. That's not this message. Big notes, cash balance, dispense. Maybe I will accomplish that. Okay. That will have is lower than 40. New cannot dispense 2. Okay, so run your test. Perfect, so this test is good. So now we need to have very similar test, but when asked for dispose more than 1000, so that's more than 1000, too low, too high. So don't give me for this repetition, it's just learn if and animals higher than 1000. Yes, I need too high. Okay. So as we fix the test before we started, then we expect a little bit of a green light for our right. Perfect. So now what we covered can have notes amount from 40 to 1000. Now before we even go to the lack of nodes, we still need to be able to dispose some cash if the client or ATM user will ask us, right? So we will do our init and then let's try to dispose some money. Okay, so fact and ask for, let's say 130, then proper okay, so parameter plus okay, and then what I will do, we will use this as our placeholder because we have a lot of tests. Okay, so 130. If we have what we have, then 130 should be 100 plus 30. So in our case, this is not the case because we don't have a nodes of 10. Right, so this is the, let's say, the easiest. In our case, we don't have 10, so to achieve that, we need to borrow 50, so we will be expecting 150 plus 80, so it will be 4 times 20. 4 times 20. Okay. So. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. So, what's going on? So, set. 10. Yeah, give me my cash as well. Total. Okay. After then, expect message. Expect message. Else. Okay. And in this message we should have asset equal, and then we say expected. So in our case we are focused on 20s and we didn't make this. Yeah. So assert equal, so we have expected will be 1 and dot 50. So let's go. So 0, 0 to 100. 0 to 100. Okay, 0 hundredths. Let's validate everything to avoid that. Then 1 per 100 and 1 for 20s. Okay, run the test. Perfect. So we need to think about it. So here our guards are working now. How we can check that we can dispense the money? Okay. So let's do a first check. If that amount cash balance, then we can do it. So that should be tested. Let's make this test first. So this is our base. Okay. Well, when asked for dispose more than cash, into balance. Balance. Okay. So, what do we know? That we have how many we have? What's the amount of cash we have? So check it. Run its stats and we will get the information. We first start the calculator. Ooh. And this failed. So we have, this is our price. 1870. That means if we will ask twice for 1000, then we should get this message. So what do? We asking for the first 1000, then we asking for another 1000, then okay, so this is our test, so we can do it. Balance. Okay. Oh, what I did. So let's we run our test. Just close the app. Okay. Ooh, ooh. So what we have is not getting this message, right? Okay, so one of the things we can do. Okay, let's do this as a dummy thing. It's not needed for us. We'll fit him with only one notes. Okay. Uh-oh. We are not in the proper place. Now we are in proper place. So in this case 500 is enough, right? Oh, why we have 200, 300, 350. Okay, so something is wrong. And that's really interesting. So what do we have here? ATM cash amount. Is lower than 40. No. If amount is bigger than 1000, no. If an amount is bigger than cash balance, can dispense. So what are we expecting? We're expecting can dispense. Okay, that's interesting. So let's give him 5 seconds. From seconds, just 5. Maybe actor system something. That's very interesting. Oh, that's fine. We get cash balance, so in this particular case, we need to have expect message cash balance. Okay. Okay, so now it's at 5 seconds, so remove that. See, it is the what was the issue. Because that's interesting. Okay, so that was probably half, so we have this. If you want more, then that's covered, so we can will receive next notice. So we wrote this. No. Run this one to validate that we didn't check anything, change anything. So finally, we're coming back to our problem. We need to dispense 130. Okay, that will be. So this is our test. So in our case, 150. Expect it's right. So let's do the unwrapping. Okay. Now we can dispense. Okay. And maybe I'm just thinking, let's start from something easy. Let's just do 140. So that will be 20, 20. So it's an easy one by 100 plus 2 by 20. Test the thing 0 and 2. Okay. Expected 240, and that's altogether gives us the amount. Okay. Now. Okay, so what do we have? We check if we can do it. This is a very easy check just for the balance that we have. It could be untrue for some cases, but that would be later on. So what we can do now? Can we dispense? We can dispense now. Right, so what do we need to do? Okay, we were asked for particular amount. Okay. So it's 140 and it's lower than the first note we have. Okay, so if we know that this is lower, we don't know, maybe we just try to do a stupid dispenser that will be going over for every single thing, right? So if that could be for some of us very annoying, but let's do that. If and that amount. amount. And just use this our local variable string. So we're probably not going on here, so if we are not interested, then what do we need to know? So let's go for okay. So what amount? So just amount. Change string, so we need to post it. Okay, it's attempt 2 after break. So while amount is higher than 2, then what we need to think is that right, so we need to and then do amount minus equal average, right? So this literally asks okay. Now I know that you all hate it. Let's get images. I know that this is patterns here. Yeah, okie dokie. So don't need that here. Huh. That's interesting. Now what do we need to say? Sender new dispense notes. $50 $150 and 0. Okay, so let's test. Right. Ooh, we have cafe here. Interesting. Press F. Wi-Fi. Expected to actualize you. That's perfect. Okay, so we are dispensing 140. We are dispensing 140. So that means we are not gonna get it here. 20, 20, 20. If we were to some no, this guy. That's constant. No, that wasn't it. We gotta do the other stuff later on. Blah 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 blah. More. And 20. So let's run our test again. Very interesting. What happened here? Let's check. So expected to actual one. So what I'm thinking here is this, because we still should be able to do it. In that case, what is right? Yes, yes, yes. Okay. All right. So let's ask for 170. That's 50. There's no other way. So when asked for 170, 170, 170 is as easy as that. Plus 1 multiply 50. 170. So we expect one, this guy, and 1. This guy. Okay, so let's run it. I think everything should be fine. Perfect. So now we do something that we ask for 110. That's the thing. Okay. So when we ask for 110, this is a very interesting case. It's by default our algorithm will take a 100. Okay. And we'll try to dispense less, okay, but we'll So let's see what happened at this particular. Okay, so 110 is 3 times 20, so it's 60 plus 50. Okay, so we are expecting 0 hundredths, and we are expecting 3 twenties. Okay, so what we could also do here is go say target. Yeah. Oh, does it provide us? Oh, so we have that. So our test is failing. Okay, because okay. First we don't have 110. No, right. So we get 100 here, and because that's that here, so we have an issue. What we have problem? Okay, as we came here, the amount is higher than 100, so we take the 100, and here we have 10, which we cannot manage. So, what to do? What to do? What do we have? What do we need to have here? Bum, 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 bum. So if we have situation that we need to borrow or change our hand to 50s, how we could discover that? So first thing, we could check what will be the same. Let's do this for constant. Let's try exception just. New ping exception. Okay. So let's run the test and see if we get exception. So we didn't get the message. So what that means in this particular case, okay, that means we have a need to substitute a term note. So what we can do with this term note? Bum, ba, bum. The one thing we need to know is do we need a 50 for example, right? So do we need 50 taken from 2 times 50 instead of how we can check that? Yeah. Rest divided by 100 is lower than 50. Okay. We need to have to 100 into 150. 150. And process. Okay, so in this particular case, right, how we can manage that? First, we need to take this declaration before our test. So let's do our test declaration. And honestly, this declaration. Okay, and because we are not counting, so let's do this. And we will get an exception here. So in that case we need to say that our amount minus equal 50 and 50 and 50 equals 1 in this particular case. Okay, so what we did, we need to change 100 to 150 process. Okie dokie, so let's check our test. Expected 1, actual 2. Interessant. Okay. Why like that? Okay. It's here, amount equals 50. Okay. So let's do a flag. Maybe not a field. It should be rather we have all those guys right here. Equals 1, and then we should be minus 3 more 50. Okay, in this particular case, we'll 50 equals 0. Now our compiler is happy, so we happy. Let's do the test, because it's failing, right? So let's fix it. Ta-da! Expected 3, actual 0. We were expecting 320s to have 60. So we got our own 50. So what I think, haha. Okay. So to remove 150 is not the best place where we can have it. Okay. Then we need to say okie dokie. And we need to say L50 minus minus. Okay. So we just do this opposite here. And did we change our amount? Yes, we changed our amount. So we need to add 50 to the amount. Let's check what we get. Success. Oh. So adaptive 50 make it one trick. Right, interesting. So maybe let's ask for, I don't know, a 90. Just for 90, and 90 is easy. I think that our code can do 90, because 90 will be just 50 plus 2 times 20. Okay. So okay, so now we know that we can dispense, but if we will be dispensing, then we will just run around out of cash, right? So in this case, I will remove that placeholder. What we need to think is how we can test or validate that our ATM will give us money if we expect it in a different way, right? So let's do this in manual. Let's think. When asked for, let's say 300 multiple times, then propose. Okay, so here we know that we have 1600. I forgot. So because I forgot, I will just do this. Okay, so I know that will be odd by 20, but we will get everything. No, no bit one. 6. 1850, 1850. This is what we have. 1850. We have 1850 in the very beginning. Right? So we have 1850. No, 1770. Let me check this. I'm sick. $1,500, 250. So this is 1,000, 1,500, 1,750. 850. So expected. Okay, so let us validate the test fixed to avoid having a phantom or perfect. Okay, so what we do now? That. What's the test? What multiple times? Okay, so what we do now? Give me a cash, 1,000. Oh, okay, we do this with 300. It's a good example. Because for the first 300, maybe 500, and maybe just 900. Okay, so when we ask 900, nobody can ask multiple times, so that's 500. Okay, so if we ask for the first time, then we will be expecting 2 nodes like that, 1 node like that, and finally 0 nodes here. Okay. So because we didn't have this test will fail because 200 is not covered yet. No. And we don't have this. Perfect. Now have even more reset multiple times. So for the second time when we asked for 500. Okay, sorry for that. First, fix this. Well, 200. Okay. So let's do if this is fixed. Yes, that's true. This is the thing that we left, and that's the consequence. So we covered our 200. Okay, that means with this we are expected to 200. So if we will say twice, okay, so for the first time we don't care what's in the message. For the second time we expect this, and then we do this for the third time. And we have only one of this guy, and we should have 3 this guys, right? So let's run and see where we are. Alright, so our algorithm didn't take the balance, right? So if you will ask now for balance without session, it will be very funny because the balance will be near 0. So what do we need to think about it now, okay? Let's come back to the outcome. Because that's the last one. Okay, so we initialize our robots. Okay. So now after each step, what do we need to do? Is to check. Did we get, so we have 2 things. We can make something like that here, and the 100 is bigger than 0. This is something that we can use in every single case. Let's check if it works. 100 and 50. No, not 150. And 20. So, if I'm not, wait until 0. But let's check if the change a send button or test. Success. So that means this guy dispensed this for the first time. So because we have this essentially remove it. Okay, because we're expecting hours away. Where is the few messages? Receive, and that means we need to receive 2 messages, and then the third will be inspected. Perfect, that works. So that means we okay to go. Or maybe we should ask for balance. That is something that we can do. Tap tap dum tap tap dum tap 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 tap. Thank you.